BeastNet is brought to you by James Safety Services in partnership with OCR Buddy and OCR Strong. Here we discuss all things OCR and fitness related. Welcome to BeastNet.
Hey everybody, it's Mike here at BeastNet, and today I've got with me Joey and Dan. So, kind of introduce yourselves real quick. Let the listeners know who both of you are. Dan's been on the. I don't have we had you on the show, Joey?
Yes, yeah, a couple
Been
times.
it's been a while, but
Been a while, yes, it's been a
let
while.
everyone know who you are, and we can go from there.
All right. Well, I am Joey McGlamory, the CEO and co-founder of Dealers of Hope USA, and partner in crime with Dan in the upcoming Paralympic Championships down in Orlando, Florida.
And I'm Dan McDonald. I am with Spartan Race, along with also being a participant in as many races as I possibly can sneak out with Dealers of Hope and other nonprofits who bring out some adaptive athletes. So excited to talk about what Joey and the team are doing, and then get a little conversation going about the Para Championships coming up.
Yeah. So why don't we start with that? Let's talk, Joey. Maybe explain to everyone what Dealers of Hope is. We've mentioned it multiple times on the show, but it's been kind of, we haven't had a good chance of really explaining to everyone what Dealers of Hope is.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll try to keep that part short and somewhat simple. Dealers of Hope was born out of a need to branch out and become bigger than the mission that More Heart Than Scars had. I always knew that I wanted to do something bigger, and Erica was on board with that, she is the other co-founder of Dealers of Hope USA. We have the sister nonprofit over in Tanzania, Dealers of Hope Foundation, Tanzania. But our mission, like I mentioned, it's just been bigger, Mike. We just want to reach so many more people, and not only in the U.S. but globally. And I don't say that lightly, because that is our mission. I'm currently also working with a young gentleman who builds wheelchairs over in the UK, and keeping our fingers crossed, he is going to bring a wheelchair for us to sample and hopefully be able to use during the Para Championship. So it's perfect that we're talking about that today. But we want to be able to provide wheelchairs for individuals around the world who need them. But more specifically, getting back to Dealers of Hope USA, I just realized early on that I wanted to be able to plant seeds in pods all across the U.S. And as I know you're well aware of it, and so is Dan, that we have now a tremendous team up in the Seattle area, in the Pacific Northwest, with Don Boggs and the crew up there. And I am just so excited with what's going on up there, especially with the group that you guys are going to be taking out in September, while Dan and I are in Tanzania climbing that mountain over there. I can't tell you how happy I am about that, but we are working tirelessly to get Dealers of Hope up and running full time, which we just became fully legitimate about a month ago, thanks to the state of Georgia just being so slow. But we're there now, man, and we're just planting seeds everywhere we can, and very excited about what's happening with the new charity.
Which is amazing. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, I mean, everyone knows. I mean, I run with Dealers of Hope. I do all that. I've got and I should have wore my jersey. I've got my jersey, but you know, that I wear when I'm running in the events and all that kind of stuff. So I think I wore it. I think I wore it my last triathlon. So
Right.
I wore it during the triathlon, and I'll be wearing it when I do the Ironman in October. So, and I've got a couple other Spartans coming up. So, yeah. So I mean, it's awesome to see the group grow, and like you mentioned with the wheelchairs, a lot of people don't know. I mean, if you really want to see, these aren't just your standard wheelchairs that you see like at the hospital, or you see
No.
someone using out, in the world. These are specialized wheelchairs that are made for the team to be able to take someone through something like this. I mean, if you look at, my pictures from the Spartans that I've been with, Joey's pictures, and Joey's got a lot of great videos of it too on his, and so does Dan, of the wheelchairs that we're talking about. We're not talking about a typical wheelchair. These are very specialized wheelchairs, and that's why it's so important to get the right ones and the money and, everything to afford these for people.
Very true, very true. And that's one of the first fundraisers we're going to do, kind of as a collaborative effort with Dealers of Hope USA and Tanzania, is start fundraising to have these wheelchairs made and available for peoples around the world, because we don't want someone with a disability to have to purchase a wheelchair. We want to be able to just fly there with it and just hand deliver it right to their doorstep.
Mhm.
And that is something we will do. That's something we're going to work on.
Yeah. Well, as always, anything I can help with or BeastNet, we are always here. Pretty much the entire BeastNet is part of Dealers of Hope. So
That's right. And trust me, we're definitely going to be having you guys help us with that. So
oh, always. So I'm here to help. So
awesome.
yeah. So what races? I know we really want to talk about the para, world championships in Florida. What weekend is that?
Yeah, so it's November 8th and 9th. The actual event will be on the 9th because we've got the Super is on the 9th, and we want the para championships to at least be a 10K distance. That's what the athletes have been telling us when we talked to them originally, and we mentioned doing a sprint. A lot of them were like, that doesn't sound like a championship necessarily. So we were able to get 10 kilometers in. It'll be interesting to get 10 kilometers in. Joey has seen where it's going to be at. I've seen where it's going to be at. We will be doing a little bit of zigzagging to get 10 kilometers in, but we will get it all in. It's going to be a pretty cool weekend. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have the Orlando Veterans Day Parade is on Saturday. And the para athletes, as of right now, we're looking at inviting them to be part of the parade on Saturday to celebrate the fact that they're in town and what they're doing. And like normal, any other weekend at Spartan or Tough Mudder, we're going to have open heats going on Saturday and Sunday. So those who are not quite ready to compete yet I think that like a competitive, for the able-bodied Spartans, it's the age group elite level, and we're talking about the championship here. So just like in an regular open, that's what it is, right? So you can help people out, you can be there for them, you can give them a lift up over the wall. Well, for the championships, we won't be able to do that because it needs to be treated just like any other competitive world championship. So with that, I know Dealers of Hope is going to be out there. Oscar Mike going to be out there. They're going to have some folks in the open heats running both days. We will have a bunch of the veterans from the VA hospital. Again, we do that twice a year, once in Jacksonville, once in Florida. We're moving it to Orlando instead of Central Florida in December, mainly because the VA hospital is about 2 blocks away from the venue this time. A lot easier than busing them for 2 hours. So
yeah,
it'll be a very busy weekend. And we do have a gentleman. I got to get in touch with him this week here. His convoy was affected by an IED in Afghanistan when he was serving over there, and he is in a wheelchair, and he is going to attempt to break the world record for most miles covered in a non-motorized wheelchair in 24 hours. We are working on him to finish his quest. So he comes in 15 minutes before the Para World Championships take off, and he will be basically the command in sending us out for the Para World Championships. So really a lot of stuff going on, a lot of really cool stuff going on. And we've got more coming. I don't have some of the deals inked quite yet. So I don't want to tease it until I know I can say it's going to happen. But Joey and I have been talking about some stuff that we're going to try to do on Friday night for the para athletes, some celebrating of them being in town, since they'll be in town by Friday night anyways.
That's awesome. Now, I know you did mention, I mean, because that's one thing most of us are used to. We always do the open heats. because that way we can kind of, is run your own race. We can help the athletes in any way we want. We can do it how we want to, what's safe, what we feel comfortable doing. Now, you mentioned that the rules are going to be a little bit different and going to be a little more stricter. We saw this a little bit at, World's Toughest last year, where it was a little step up on the rules, but from everything that you were saying, it sounds like it's going to be a lot more step up of the rules, where it's not going to be like, well, our athlete has temperature issues, so we're not going to take them in that water. Well, then we're going to have to find something different
Yep.
to kind of do.
Yeah, so we will have a full rule book. The plan, and so far we've hit every deadline so far. And so I'm putting the deadline out there that by end of day Friday, so by 5 o'clock Eastern on Friday, the rule book will be done for all the obstacles. And the reason it's taking a little bit longer, we're doing it for every obstacle that's currently on our playbook for Spartan, because we don't know for sure which ones are going to be there. We won't know until August 22nd which ones will be there. So we're going to just do all of them. And
which makes sense, because then, when you do it next year, you can have, because hopefully this isn't going to be a one-time shot. This is going to be an annual thing, and then maybe more, whatever. I'm not going to go too far into the plans on that, but hopefully this will be a more whatever. And now you've got a rule book for everything. So you can look and say, oh, hey, this obstacle is going to be there. This is what we need to train for.
Yeah. So I will tell you, it will be more than 1 year. I am not letting it only go 1 year. It's been 2 years of pulling teeth and knocking people alongside the head to get to this. Next year, the goal is to have regional qualifying. So this year, just so anybody who's listening, anybody who wants to compete, any para athlete who wants to compete can compete this year in the championship. There is no qualification. Next year, there will be qualifying, just like any other championship. But it'll be much like how you look at the Trifecta World Championships. All you have to do is get a trifecta and you qualify to run the Trifecta World Championship. So we will have qualifying heats throughout the year. That'll be actually competitive para heats that'll go out at different races throughout next year, up to doing this race again in Orlando. I want it in Orlando again next year. I don't know if I'll win that argument or not, but that's my plan. So as I keep telling Joey, this one has to be as if it is like first year championship contender level event. Then we can bring it back next year a lot easier, because then we get people who want to see it here. We get the city of Orlando that wants to see it here.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that. And yeah, so it's, a good example I use would be even let's use the 6 foot wall, for example. Today, we get down, lift the person up, especially if they're in a wheelchair. We will help them completely over the wall, get them up on top of the wall. There'll be people on the other side to receive them, set them back down in the chair. Now we're going to be allowed to lift them up so that they can get their hands on the very top of the wall. They can get up there. They need to be able to power themselves over the wall. So unlike, and this is where the rules will be a little bit different than a regular, competitive elite or age group. Those are mandatory obstacles. There will be no mandatory obstacles in the para competition. Every obstacle will have a penalty loop to it available. So if the wheelchair athlete cannot power themselves up over the wall, that's okay. The 4 people who are helping get up over the wall, come back around, grab the wheelchair, go do the penalty loop. That is perfectly fine. So if they can't do it, they can't do it. That's it. Nothing's going to be mandatory. One of the things, and another one we'll use is monkey bars. Monkey bars, a lot of times, those who see us out there when we're doing the open heat, we'll have 2 people, same height, standing side by side, person sitting on their shoulders, a person in the front, person in the back, make sure they don't fall forwards or backwards. And essentially the person is going across the monkey bars and getting through it. Ringing the bell, fantastic. That perfectly fine in the open heats, right? Mm-hmm. But if we're talking competitive, they need to be able to do the monkey bars. Yes, we realize for many of our athletes, they're not going to be able to do that. We totally get that. So same deal there. If there's 4 of us on the chair, the 4 of us do the monkey bars. When we're done with the monkey bars, we grab the ropes and we go do the penalty loop. And so it'll be that straightforward.
Now, I do have one question on that. Now, let's say we have someone who is Erica, for example, who has no use of her legs, but she would be strong enough to do the monkey bars. Would it be okay for one of us to walk under her
Yes, you just
as
can't
like
touch
a
her.
safety?
Yeah.
Just can't touch her.
Yes,
Like as a safety thing
100%.
that if all of a sudden she started to go down, we
Yep.
could catch her as a safety issue. Okay, that
Yeah, and we're gonna want that, right? We're gonna want all the safety precautions possibly made. So like you can be like right there with your arms around the moment she says I'm done, grab a hold, right?
yeah.
And we can lift her up to the bar. So she doesn't have to get up to the bar on her own. By no means. We can lift up to the bar. When we get to Stairway to Sparta, we can lift the athlete up to the first handholds. They just got to be able to power themselves up after that. And again, we get it. There's going to be athletes who just can't do that.
Mhm.
And that is okay. That's why we have penalty loops. Same reason we have penalty loops in age group and elite is there's obstacles that people can't do. They go do the penalty loop.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, and I like how you're doing it that way. Well, it's like, hey, it's like, if you can't, then you go do the penalty loop. So it makes it that competitive, just like it would be for anybody else, you know. But like I said, as a safety guy, that's the first thought that's going through my head is someone trying to go
100%.
across monkey bars with no no protection to catch them if they go down. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then what we're going to do, and if you, I go back to last year a little bit and how we're going to do the competitive side of this. If you remember last year, we didn't run age group and elite separate. We ran competitive waves. And the top 3, male and female, won the competitive side of it. Then everybody else went down into the age group. So, like this year, we've had, again, and this way it used to be, and it's coming again this year, we have age group folks who are beating the second or third place elite. And if we were running competitive like we did last year, they would have been on the podium for on the elite side, not in their age group. We're
Right.
going to run this the same way. So there will be an overall champion, male and female, overall first, second, and third. And then everybody else, except for those 6 people, will be in their category. Think of the categories as age group, essentially. And that's how, and we're going to have first, second, and third in those. So we will have first, second, third, male and female overall, and then in each of the categories.
now, by the categories, you mean it's not going to be age group? Is it going to be like
So there'll be, for example, there'll be for the category P01, that is a non-motorized wheelchair.
Okay.
So there will be a first, second, and third. Keep my fingers crossed. Joey's promising me at least 10 to 15 wheelchair athletes out on the course. So I'm hoping for a first, second, and third, male and female, right? So we can, I want that when we get done and we take that picture at the very end of all the podium winners, I want the poor camera guy to be almost in Daytona Beach to get that picture of everybody in the thing, right? I want it to be so wide and so full of people that we have every category filled and we get a chance to say, hey, we had 150 athletes in 2025. Our goal is 300 next year.
Yeah. Which is amazing. I mean, I'm hoping we get more than that.
I am too. I've made room for 2 heats. I made room to send out 500 total people. So, and that is something new. If you all get a chance and you're looking at it on Sunday, we moved everything around so that there are no heats after the para athletes take off. There are no heats after that. So I can start 1,000 people in the para world championship. Nothing is going on once the para athletes take to the course. There's nobody else coming after them. So
Which
we cleared the
is
course.
amazing. I mean, and that's one thing. I mean, for all the listeners, Dan has been the one at Spartan that has made all this happen. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, I know you don't like to take credit for this just because that's who you are, but Dan has been the one that has stepped up and made sure that the para athletes, whether it be Dealers of Hope, Oscar Mike, whoever, that they have representation and that we are able to do these races with these athletes. And Dan, I want to thank you for that. That is amazing.
No, it's my you know this from running on the course with me. It means a lot to me to be able to see folks get out there when somebody probably told them once in the last few years, this is all you're ever going to be able to do. And this totally knocks down that barrier. It destroys that wall. It all the phrases you could possibly think of, and then you get to see them cross the finish line or do some obstacle. I mean, I think of PJ just recently in Atlanta, and we get to the beginning of the cliff climb, so the downhill side of the cliff climb, and all I know is I'm being choked around my neck all the way down the hill, with a smile on his face like he's riding a bucking bronco down the hill. And someone snapped a picture of that. It is my favorite picture I think I've ever had taken in all these years.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
It's cool stuff. And again, when I got home from work today, I had an email from a gentleman in the Philippines going, "Hey, I heard about the Para World Championship. How do I get more information? How do I do this?" And I'm like, you just need to make sure you stay in touch with me. We'll figure it out. So we're reaching other people, and I do need to give a shout out to an athlete that I think you guys know, John Dehan, out of Europe. He is the person who made sure that him and I just kind of kept going after people and saying, "Hey, how do we do this? How can we do it?" He's been beating up my UK and Western Europe counterparts on his side, and then myself and Joey and Earl Granville have been kind of over on this side working on it together. And again, I feel very blessed that I get to be inside of Spartan. It's one of the benefits of joining the company 4 years ago is I still think of myself as a racer. I still think of myself as a participant. I just happen to have the ear of people who get to make a decision, and I'm pretty stubborn, so
It helps.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds amazing. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been out with the team as much this year as I want to be, so it's looking good. So I got to figure out how to get there.
I was about to say, I'm counting on you being there.
I got to figure that one out because my wife keeps looking at me because I'm supposed to be doing South Carolina, which is the very next weekend.
Yes, it is.
So I'm like,
so you just stay over on the East Coast.
Yeah, I got a room for you right here in my house. See?
I say Orlando isn't that far of a flight. So we were just talking about how to use, because we have a Vacations International for our, like, condos, whatever. And she's like, there's like 3 of them in Orlando. We can just fly. I'm like, exactly. I can just fly to Orlando and stay at a condo for the weekend. So I'm working on that one. So, and with my new job working from home, I get a little bit more leeway on stuff like that.
That's amazing. I wanted to say real quick, and Dan, I haven't had a chance to debrief you on what happened, the amazing things that happened in Asheville this past weekend, but I literally ran down a gentleman. He was going by me, and someone said, "Look at that guy." And I looked at him. He was wearing a penny that had blind on it. I literally took off running after this guy and tracked him and his 2 partners down. And I said, "I don't know if you've heard about this Para Championship going on in Orlando, November 8th, but I want to give you a personal invitation to come down and be a part of this." You talk about the smile of the finishers. When he heard me say that, Dan, his face just lit up. He's like, "No way, really?" I mean, those were the first words out of his mouth. And he was just like, he got my name, he got my number. He's like, "I'm going to email you about this because I will be in Orlando that entire month." He's like, "I want to make this happen." So that's at least 3 visually impaired that I know who will be down there that weekend now. So in between myself and Chris and Michelle with Oscar Mike, we were telling people about that weekend all weekend long in Asheville. And I was trying to answer as many questions as I could about that weekend and just what all was going to be going on and how epic it is going to be.
Yep.
So
it's going to be a great weekend.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a great weekend. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can get there. So, because I got to get another weekend in anyway.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So what else is the plan there? I mean, it's kind of so I mean, so far it's Dealers of Hope, Oscar Mike, and then a bunch. Do you know of a lot more, or is it those are the two bigger groups?
So we're hoping to get Ainsley's Angels. We're going to be talking to them because they've been out a number of times now. They're another group that I mean, Joey remembers this. The first year that they went and did Jacksonville at the old motocross park. I mean, we had to talk them into it. It's like your folks can do this. I
Yeah.
don't know. All we ever do is 5Ks on the road, and now that we've talked them into doing that first one, what did they have? 20
Yeah.
athletes
20
in
athletes. Yeah.
Houston. Was it in
Yeah.
Houston? I think.
Yep.
And then
Mike
I
was
am
with us for
able.
that.
Yeah, I
Yep,
was
and then
there for that
I
one.
am able was up in Palmerton. Joey just recently.
Yes.
A
Yes.
bunch of athletes up there.
Yes. I'm in
Um,
contact with their VP of operations. They're thinking about coming to Orlando with some athletes.
so yeah, so we and the Adaptive Training Foundation. I'm working with Chris over there,
Nice.
and trying to get some of his folks over. So we're going to hit this pretty hard. And again, I want as many people who want to attempt this to do it. Just again, we just need to know that some of the folks that come and do it, there's going to be a lot of penalty loops, and that is perfectly fine. We have all day to get it done. We're going to start at 11 a.m. If they're crossing the finish line at 5 o'clock, they will get the same medal, the same congratulations, probably a bigger, and you guys know how this goes. Those
Hmm.
final racers of any weekend get a bigger cheering section than
Yep.
the elite athletes do when they cross the finish line.
Yeah.
Because all the volunteers are out there, all the people in blue shirts are out there. By that time, all of the other athletes will be out there. We'll make sure that everybody who crosses that finish line gets celebrated. And Joey knows he can't share the picture I sent him last week, but there will be a very unique, one of a kind, only medal for this event for the Para World Championships. It's been designed. We should have the first sample coming in this week or next week, so we'll
Looks
have
good.
that going. We will have kind of what we did in Laughlin in 2019. We will have yellow pennies to be able to tell the para athletes, so it stands out when they get to an obstacle, and the marshals are there because we're going to have it'll be just like any other world championship. We will have folks there making sure the rules are followed, and there will be a point, especially with the athletes who are a little faster, they are going to catch some of the slower sprint runners in that first mile and a half. They just are. I
Yeah.
think of Earl Granville and John DeHaan are two people I think of off the top of my head that when if they show up and they take off out of there, they're going to catch up to them. So we need our folks to stand out because it'll be kind of like ultra on the left, right? You
Yeah.
see the purple one coming. Well, if you see a yellow one coming, the open athletes will be told to get out of the way to make sure that they don't interfere with folks that are going to have Spartan para athlete bibs on. So we will have that standing out. It should end up being the real like I feel like any other championship, and that was the one thing Joey and I we pushed pretty hard. This originally wasn't going to be in Orlando. This originally was going to be part of another championship weekend. We figured we already have the people there, the media there, the coverage there. So take advantage of the fact that stuff was already there. And then when we were able to sneak this super into Orlando, it was the perfect fit. It is right where our second headquarters is, and it is across the street. The festival will be across the street from where my office is at. We have the people who own most of the land in that area own 3 hotels that are less than a quarter mile from the festival.
Oh,
So
wow.
people could actually land in Orlando airport, take an Uber to their hotel, and never have to rent a car. And handle
That's
the
pretty
whole
cool.
weekend. It's really going to be nice. We've got a whole extra parking garage area that we're going to block off on the first level for handicap parking because we just figure I'm hoping I need that. I'm hoping I need a bunch of extra parking, and we'll have
Hopefully.
that lined up. And one thing I forgot to mention, with that parade that's happening on Saturday, probably one of the coolest things about it is the parade. It's the first time the Orlando parade's ever been in Lake Nona, just happens to be this year. And the parade route will end right in our festival. So they will be coming in, and it'll stop and end right in the festival area, which would be perfect, because that's if the para athletes that want to do it are with me in the float, then we'll just come right into the festival area and we'll just keep on celebrating on Saturday.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is amazing.
So, other than that, that's what we have for right now. So we got the rule book is the next thing. We have the FAQ is posted out on Spartan.com, so that is out there. If you look it up, and it's got the categories on it. It talks about penalties, talks about the extra rules for wheelchair athletes, and talks about certain things for specific like team rules. So let's talk about team rules just for a second, because a team is if we have a vision impaired person and they've got two guides and they come up to monkey bars. If the vision impaired person can do the monkey bars, fantastic. Help them, get them up there, make sure they get their hands so they're going, and then they can go. The two guides have to do the obstacle also. If they fail the obstacle, the whole team cannot go until the person who failed the obstacle or persons who failed the obstacle do the penalty loop. So if the vision impaired person makes it through and the two guides don't make it through, so really critical, not to have a guide who just is good at being a guide. They need to also be good at doing OCR, or you're going to be waiting for them.
That makes sense.
On the wheelchair. So the wheelchair one's going to be a little bit different. And that's why I want to make sure I talk about that.
Yeah.
So let's say the three of us and Henry, I'll pick on Henry, are pulling a wheelchair. Okay. And we know the wheelchair athlete, they're not gonna be able to make it. So we know we're doing it as a team to get the athlete through. And the three of you make it through, but I don't. You have to wait until I go do my penalty loop and then come back to the team, and then we take the wheelchair through. I cannot do my penalty loop as part of the chair. Or
okay, that makes sense.
the three of you can take the wheelchair athlete through, but then I have to go, and I cannot touch a rope or help out or be any part of the wheel penalty loop. So
until you finish yours.
Either I can go run it as fast as I can and come back around because hey, there's a log in the way, or we're going through some mud or whatever it is, and then come back and help and be forced back on the wheelchair again. But
now, would we be able to say the three of us start taking it and you go do your loop,
nope.
And then come once you finish your loop, catch up to us?
Nope. Whenever you start, okay. That's so again, now we got to think about it, right? Because if let's say we get to, I'll use an example of Olympus. I am 90% sure I'm not going to make it through Olympus. I for some reason I get to the last 4 feet and I'm out of gas. So, but you three will make it through. So the first person who goes through should be me. Because once I fall, I can go run. And then by the time you guys make it through, hopefully I'm through and back around, or you're only waiting a few minutes, then we take off together. So there has to be some planning in it. Has to be some thought. There should be conversation. We look at a map the night before taking the VA athletes out, very detailed, and figure out what we're going to do. That's exactly what this should be. There should be planning involved as soon as the obstacle list gets out and the map gets out.
So the team lead is going to be very important that the team lead and everybody understands that, like, we have to have a plan. Like when we come up to an obstacle, we're asking right away, like, okay, who thinks they can make it? Who thinks they're going to have a problem? If you're going to have a problem, you go first, you hit it. We'll deal with the athlete trying to do it. Or if we just don't even think they're going to even be able to do it, you go through it, then we'll jump on and go, hopefully pass through. And then hopefully by the time we get done, get the wheelchair ready, you're back. And then we can go for the loop with the wheelchair. No, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, this isn't open. This is competition, and that's one of the biggest things. Like,
Yeah.
and I've seen this argument in Spartan since I started. Amazingly, I'm 10 years as of like Montana. If I'd gone this year, would have been 10 years at Montana, but um, because I did my first one in 2015. But that's always been the argument of like, oh, you can't help. It's like in the open heat, you kind of do whatever you want. It's your race. You do whatever you want. You get through it. When you get into a competition, now there's a whole bunch of like, hey, you can't do that. And I think that's the big thing is we've always done, we've tried to be as competitive as we can and make sure the athlete can do everything they can. But there's been a lot of safety in there and a lot of stuff where it's like, we might be able to do this, but I'm not sure about the safety of it. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
by this obstacle. We're gonna do this. And now it's more of a hey, if we decide to go by this obstacle, now we have to do the loop. We have to do all this other stuff to make it competitive because it is a competitive thing. Because once we finish, it's not just gonna be like, oh hey, we finished, here's your medal. It's like you're in second, but then people look at you going, I watched them go right past that obstacle and not do anything.
Yep. And
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 that's
the
not
other
what we
thing
want.
too, yeah, the other thing, we're Joey and I've talked about that we're going to do, Mike, is we're going to do some calls. So we're going to do some calls probably live on Facebook, or I might even do something even crazier and just put a Google Meet invite out there and say, hey, pair athletes and like guide, team leads, jump on this call, and we have an open forum and let people just ask the questions. We'll record it, so then after we record it, we can post it on the Spartan Para Facebook page. We can get it out there, and we'll do more than one. So as soon as we get back from Kilimanjaro, it's the same weekend. That's why I've been fighting with that all since I knew I couldn't make it to it. But when we get back from Kilimanjaro, we'll probably in the late September into October do 2 or 3 different conversations, just talking back and forth and getting questions from people. Anybody who's listening to this, if you don't know my email address, it is just dan.mcdonald@spartan.com. Reach out, find me on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find me on Facebook, and ask me questions. I want to make sure that everybody has the answers that they need to be knowledgeable going into this. I don't want someone to not sign up because they didn't have an answer, or to sign up and go, "Oh, I didn't realize that I couldn't ride someone's shoulders through monkey bars," and then we have to go backwards on something. So I really want to make sure that people have all the knowledge they need, and then get us ready for an amazing 25. Because I'm telling you, 26 it's going to be pretty cool. We've got the honor series in the U.S. is going to be bigger than it's been since I first started running.
Good.
Next year, and I want the para competition. I mean, we'll for the first time we're going to have a regular weekend that's going to have a competitive para heat during a regular weekend,
Which is amazing.
It's
Hopefully
huge.
there's more that I can get to. So should definitely do one in Houston. But just saying, I'm trying to travel more. So we're trying to get more
we'll
traveling.
probably do one in each region if you can think about it. So probably one will be in Texas, one will probably
because
be in
Texas is its own region.
Yeah, right. California-ish area. There'll be one in the Midwest, probably one in the Northeast, and then one over here in the Southeast, the Georgia, Florida area type stuff. So yeah, we will. The goal is to have 5 in the U.S., probably 2 in Canada, and then the Western Europe and UK will get something figured out over there for them too. I know John and the team over there will push that also.
Yeah, I say Texas is its own region. We have 4 weekends, I think, throughout the year with Spartan. So
yes,
yeah. So I say I know Ironman just added another weekend here in next year. Dallas is getting an Ironman. So but yeah. So now there's Galveston, Dallas, Waco, which I'm doing in October, and then they have the actual like the full Ironman in like 20 minutes from my house.
Nice.
But seeing the Spartans, more Spartans here is pretty cool too. So
yeah,
the listeners know I've started doing a lot of triathlons, but I still my heart is still in Spartan. So, but
All right. So
Sure.
we will be bugging you, Mike, to try to get on to one more podcast,
Yeah.
maybe
You
in,
guys,
in October, to do a what's left to be talked about kind of a thing.
you guys are always welcome whenever you want. Just reach out to me or Boggs, and we will get you on whenever. So,
Awesome.
whether it's to talk about the para, to talk about just Dealers of Hope and any news with that. So, I mean, we're
Yeah,
definitely here for that.
I definitely want to come back on and talk more about just us. I just wanted the focus today to be on the para
Oh yeah.
games. And
No, which is
very,
awesome. I mean, the idea of the para games, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I've told everyone like my story. The first time I saw someone doing a Spartan that was just insane is I don't know if you've ever met Casey McAllister.
oh yeah.
He's on the West Coast. I was doing, one of the Seattle races, and it's an April 1 where it's pouring down rain and it's cold and it's miserable. And I'm like, I'm done. This is the stupidest thing. I'm quitting. I'm done. And I walk around a corner and there's Casey. No legs, just going along, just hopping along. And I'm like, well, I guess I have no freaking excuse now. So,
No.
sat and talked to Casey for a minute, made sure he didn't need anything, said, hey, nope, he's good. And off I went. I mean, ever since then, I'm just like, it's amazing to watch these people that you were like, oh, they would never be able to do that. They're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're out there doing it. I mean, I've seen
Wow.
Casey in Hawaii. I've seen Casey all over the place. I mean, the guy is just a beast. And then all of a sudden, I started with, More Hearts and Scars, now Dealers of Hope, and started doing stuff with, Joey and the team. And I mean, I was done with Spartan. I was going to walk away. I was done. I was done with obstacle course racing. Didn't want to do it anymore. I'm like, I've had my fun. I've done my fill. I'm good. There, it's not there for me anymore. But then once I started, hanging out with Joey and going out and doing that, it gave me
Yeah.
a new lease. Because my biggest thing with Spartan, I know I'm never going to be on the podium. It's not. I'm just not. It's not in the cards for me. We all know that. I have a blast. But the joy that I see, I don't need to be on the podium. I mean, my favorite, I think, is last year in Houston, we went and going over with the Ansley's Angels, and we were going over the very end, going over the A-frame, and one of the athletes suddenly screams out, and Don's gonna hate me for this, I'm a fucking badass. And it's like, yes, you are. You are. And that was like the best thing, just to see smiling
it?
from ear to
Ah,
ear. I mean, and just that feeling. And that's what got me back into this. So having a pair of championships, and amazing. I'm so happy to see this.
well, Mike,
Yeah. So
I posted something pretty much exactly like that this morning. Coming off, my last one was Palmerton, which was simply amazing with the I'm Able Foundation, and then the incredible time we had with a new athlete, Cody, for the sprint on Sunday in Asheville, and just that smile, and it's just one of those moments where you're like, this is my why right here.
hmm
I mean, I've been doing it for 14 years now, and the feeling just never diminishes. And that's why I
No.
try to get so many people. Like, if you just come out with us once, or not even just with Oscar Mike or whoever, just come out with us once when we have a para athlete on course and see them cross the finish line, you will understand why I do what I do and travel all the miles I do. And with the rest of the team, it's not just me, but why I've been doing it for so many years. It's an unbelievable, incredible feeling that stopped me from chasing the podium back in 2009. I'm like, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. When I helped Michael Mills, who was the first wheelchair athlete to do an obstacle course race with Spartan. And I'm like, that's it. I'm hanging up my running cleats and putting on just my comfortable cleats to just push a wheelchair or pull a wheelchair or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, and again, there's just another one of those moments. So I posted again this morning in my recap, like had another one of those, this is my why moments
Yeah.
when Cody came off the A-frame and he got back in the wheelchair and we rolled him over the fire jump, or actually around the fire jump. It was just that feeling, that look on his face. And I think someone captured a picture when I took a knee and I hugged his neck. And he's like, I will be back, man. This was incredible. And I'm like, that's what it's all about right there.
It
And
is.
so I want these para championships in Orlando, like Dan mentioned earlier, I want it to be successful because this is just something I've been wanting personally for years, and it's finally happening, and it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And it's, and Dan even alluded to about how it was supposed to be during another championship weekend, but we were like, no, in my mind, it wasn't because I'm not going to be in West Virginia. It was because I want it to be focused on the VA and para athletes only, not about the elites, not about the age groups. I want it to be para and VA athletes only. And thank God Dan was able to pull the right strings and get this done. And it's going to be in Orlando, and I want 5,000 people out on Sunday. I mean, and I am going to do my best to get as many wheelchair athletes out there as I can. And I'm sorry, I was yelling so much in Asheville this weekend. I barely have a voice left today. But anyway, again, I'm sorry. I could talk about this stuff forever and ever. So
No. No, it's amazing. That's, I mean, I'll be honest, one of the reasons why I've been training. I mean, I know, like I've said, my focus outside of this has been like triathlon, but part of the reason I've been training so much, I want to make sure that, when I'm out there with that athlete, that I have the endurance, I have the strength to go. I mean, with this new job, like I was telling Dan, I get up every morning, do about 45 minutes to an hour of cardio boxing. I did
oh,
20 miles on the
nice.
bike, 20 miles on the bike at lunch today, and tomorrow I'll probably run a 5K. So I mean, it's being working from home. It's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go for a run and come back, take a quick shower, and go back to work.
There you go.
So I've been working quite a bit trying to make sure that, when I get out there with you guys again, I'm gonna be able to help out a little bit more.
So
Good.
hey, Mike, before we sign off here tonight, I want to do what Joey's been doing on Facebook and
Uh-oh.
call out
Oh yeah.
all the age group and elite athletes who will be in Orlando that weekend. If you've been out with an adaptive athlete, para athlete before, thank you. Come join us again. If you haven't, stick around.
Yeah.
Get a hold of Joey. Get a hold of the team from More Hearts and Scars or Ainsley's Angels or any of the many
Dealers of
foundations
Hope.
that'll be there. Geez, I'm so sorry. Dealers of Hope. Slip of the tongue. It's going to take
That's
a while. You
okay.
know
It's
that.
okay.
You
I
know it's
know it's
going to take.
okay.
Heck, I'm
It's
even wearing
okay.
the jersey and I get it wrong. I should
I
have
know it's
slipped
okay.
down.
It's
Get
okay.
one of us and find out if we have a team that could use a fourth person, a second person, whatever it is, depending upon who you're getting with. Because I'm telling you, all the medals you have, all the podiums you have, if you help a para athlete get across that finish line, and if you get on that podium, the
Oh,
rest of your podiums aren't going to matter.
that's right.
You only get to be the first people ever on an individualized para world championship podium for the first time. It only happens once. It's only going to happen for the first time this year. Be a part of this first ever, and help make it cool so we can have a second and third and so on, and never have to wonder if we're going to have it, because we're just going to have it like every other championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I won't name drop, but I know we've already got some verbal commitments from some of the Spartan elite community, and I think some from even over on the Tough Mudder side of things. But they're willing to come and help us out. I didn't ask their permission to say their names on air, so I'll just say we've got some cool elites coming to help already, but we
Nice.
need more. We really do.
Yeah.
We need more.
And then that's a problem. I think it'll be good to have more athletes and need more people. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we need more people, that means we got more athletes. So I like
That's
that
right.
problem.
That's right.
All right.
We'll be
All right.
this.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to say? And besides just get out there, be there in November 8th, 9th in Orlando?
That's for right now. That's all I got. I need, if you know athletes that can be out there and should be out there, talk to them. If you see
Yes.
anybody, Joey's made me think of something. I mean, we've got enough events between now and then that I'll be getting with all of our main stage folks and all of our start line folks and reminding everybody that this is going on. Shame on me for not thinking of that, but leave it to Joey and Michelle and the team from Oscar Mike to think about just having a casual conversation. We'll just make sure we have it on purpose.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
on the Spartan side. So yeah, just get out there. If anybody who's listening to this, if you're wondering if you should, the answer is yes.
Yes, you should.
That's exactly right.
And figure out how to get there. If you figure out how to get there, I can almost guarantee you that between all of us, someone can find you a place to stay.
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions, reach out to me or Dan. We will get the answers.
A floor, whatever, we'll find you a place.
That's right.
All right.
Joey's gonna tent in my front yard, so
Yes.
Hey, that's how about I got a tent.
I have 2 acres if you got a tent.
Hey,
There you go.
there you go. You guys heard it here.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.